My name is Karen Bryan.
I'm Debbie Machado.
And I'm Tony Taveras.
And this is St. Bernadettes News Broadcast. Every Monday morning at 9 o'clock, the whole school gathers in the gym for an assembly. We sing "O Canada" and say a prayer. After our principal, Mr. Gross, we sing "O Canada" and say a prayer. After our principal, Mr. Gross, says what is happening that week.
The month of May is a very special month in the church. It is called the month of Mary.
May is a very special month. It is the month of Mary. We remember Mary and everything she did for us. She was the Mother of God. Many people will be praying to Mary during this month. Hail Mary, full of grace. On April 23rd, 1991, the grade 8s had their confirmation. It was when they became an official member of the church.
St. Joseph's Church was the scene for the grade 8's confirmation.
It must have been cold there in my shadow.
It was a very special occasion for our grade 8s and their family.
To never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine.
Bishop Anthony Tonis of Hamilton was assisted by Father Sam Vito, our parish priest. Everyone looks splendid, and we are all very proud of our grade 8s. Congratulations.
On Sunday, May the 5th, 1991, all the grade 2s had their first Holy Communion, and they were all very excited. The teachers that helped organize this special occasion were Miss Suchuk, Mrs. Gibson, and Mrs. Zakari. On Sunday, May the 5th, the grade 2s had their first Holy Communion at St. Joseph's Church. Everyone was very excited. They all looked very nice. They had even bought new shoes to celebrate that occasion. The boys looked especially handsome. Father was there talking to the parents. Miss Suchek and Mrs. Gibson were there trying to get the kids ready, take pictures, and getting them organized. Mr. Gross was also there to celebrate the communion. Some of our grade 5 students were in the choir. Eventually, the grade 2s took their pictures. Afterwards, Father thanked them.
Just before the March break, St. Bernadette School had their first science fair. In the halls of St. Bernadette's, many projects were set up.
Had a good time.
Mr. Shaw, how did the science fair turn out?
The science fair this year was quite successful. It was the first one we have had here at St. Bernadette. The regional science fair. Yes, the first place winner was facts about batteries, and that was done by Tom. And There were quite a few other place getters. Exploring magnetism, done by Connie, came second, and she also went to the regional science fair in Guelph. And the third place winner by Melissa and Christina was all about plants. And they certainly enjoyed their visit to the Guelph Science Centre.
On Friday, April the 26th, 1991, we had a second airplane performance at St. Bernadettes School. Although our first airplane was a success, our second airplanes were not only successful but hilarious because of three guys, David Antunes, Elder DeCosta, and Paul Wilk, who played Portuguese music, which made the whole staff and students of St. Bernadettes laugh a lot. And here it is, a recap of the air bands.
Okay, party people in that house. Very attention, please. In a moment, the beat will be played in minutes.
And here they are performing. Tori performing Mariah Carey, Vision of Love. Here it is performing Mariah Carey Someday. Patty and Lisa performing Feels Good by Tony. And here it is, Hanging Tough by New Kids on the Block. And here it is, David Antunes, Elder DeCosta, and Paul Wilk performing Portuguese music.
This month, Miss Santa Maria has started a sign language club, and a few weeks ago she started a choir, in which students learn new songs, and while singing, they learn signs. This helps us to communicate with the other hearing impaired students. Monday, our kindergarten grade 4 students were visited by the Dairy Princess, which taught them new things about farming. They learned about cows. The students enjoyed the visit.
Callie Little, and I'm the Ontario Dairy Princess. Now that means that I travel all across the province of milk, and how we get the milk from the farm to your table. Now, because to be a dairy princess, you have to live on a dairy farm or work on it. Research to find out new ways of maybe 4 or 5 years old.
At St. Bernadette's School, the students of grade 6 have medieval set up in their classroom.
During the past few weeks, we've been taking an in-depth look at life in the Middle Ages. As part of the program, the students decided to decorate our classroom so we could really get into the spirit of life in those times. Here we see one of the castles that a group of students worked on. Here's another view of that castle, and you see the round table there. That's because they wanted this to be the castle of the Knights of the Round Table. Here we see a reviewing stand, the way it could have been back in those days when the nobility watched fencing and jousting tournaments. Another view of a different castle put together by another group of students. Here we see the table and chairs in the Great Hall. And here's an actual working model of a castle and its drawbridge. Students here are busy researching life in the Middle Ages. They are viewing a film strip. Another student is checking the crests used during those times. Many students were busy researching the life and times of the Middle Ages. Some students decided to do stained glass windows. A truly beautiful effort. Another group worked on a mural depicting life in those times as seen through the eyes of the villagers. An example of an ancient type book. Students used a variety of books to help them in their research on this particular topic. Each group enthusiastically tackled this grand project and had an enjoyable time producing something memorable. Hope you've enjoyed our brief trip through time.
St. Bernadette will be having 4 baseball teams this year. They will represent St. Bernadette. Two junior boys and girls teams who are going to be coached by Mr. Higgins and Mrs. Wisnowski. Their tournament is on May 22nd. The 2 intermediate teams are boys and girls teams will be coached by Mr. Shaw and Miss Wood. To all the teams, we wish them good luck. Paul Wilk spoke to Miss Wood, the coach of the boys